god. What happened? Where am I? Oh my god. Who are you? Where are you taking me? Ugh! You can't do this! Let me out of here!
Calm down, Mario. Your part will be complete soon.
Paul? Is that you? What's happening?
Mario, please help me. We enjoy tormenting you. It can be so much fun to give the illusion of control.
What is this, Paul?
There is no Paul, only us. We are Oshitan's Obisus. We came to your dimension in search of a relic that would have allowed us to rule over all dimensions and bring destruction to all realms. Our plan would have worked too, but we were tricked. A race known as the Elders, who rule over the Master Realm and over all dimensional travel, created a relic. Put it here. The relic is a fantasy football league trophy known as the Green Bowl. And if we were to force the prophesized hero to drink cross-dimensional particles from it in an ancient gateway, a place you call the Great Pyramid, we would have been given a power to rival the Elders, to win a long war for control over the Master Realm itself. I know it seems crazy. You see, the ruler of the Master Realm gets to shape all dimensions with a unique vision. The Elders strive for balance. We strive for a beautiful chaos. Unfortunately, a team known as Remember the Titans was gullible enough to be used by the Elders, as were a group of individuals from a distant future that is now in a new dimension created by an aborted timeline. Remember the Titans drank from the cup, but my concoction was changed somehow. The potion worked against us and allowed the Elders to break the seal we created. They then imprisoned us in this dimension with the League members, unbeknownst to them.
Fantasy football? I must be dreaming.
Absurd, we know. But there seems to be a power in this dumb game, and the relic still holds some of this power from the Elders, even if we cannot use it to defeat the Elders anymore. We imprison the League on the moons of Jupiter, and you're next, Mario. We plan to escape this dimension to fight the Elders again, and we plan on destroying this dimension by releasing an ancient evil known as Azath with another relic, one that has plagued your history with evil. The relic, coupled with the energy from this fantasy football league and their precious Green Bowl, will allow us to use the gateway that is locked within a planet you call Jupiter. It will be a beautiful message to the Elders. Chaos is coming.
Okay. Say this is all true, which I still find hard to believe. Just think you're a madman who's drugging government agents and trying to kill me because I broke this case. What do you need from me?
Hidden in your mind is a key to not only unlock the true power of this new relic, but to unleash the power of Azath. And we will get it by using an enemy of the race locked inside your mind.
What race is this?
Enough questions. Time to go to sleep.
Welcome to the quest for the Green Bowl, the rise of Ralu Azath. And the first match week of the second half of our regular season is in the books. And it was just as wild as one would expect. The stars were definitely aligned this past week with some big-time fantasy football names delivering in a huge way to lead many of us to victories. A lot of points were scored this past week, and there were touchdowns, and more touchdowns. One of our best high-scoring matches actually came in a game with the 11th and 12th place teams going at it. And that certainly felt like a playoff game, to be honest. There was also a battle of first place teams. A rivalry award was on the line as well. And of course, upsets did happen. And we say it often, the war of attrition. That was evident in this past as Europa's Uncle Justy hosted EO's Risky Business at the Water Volcanoes, a callback. Uncle Justy lost Jamar Chase, who was going to be his X Factor in a surprising IR stint that surprised many. He had already lost Breece Hall for the season, and neither replacement did anything here that would make him feel good inside. Malcolm Brown and Isaiah McKenzie combining for just 8 points. But who needs Chase and Hall when you have Tagovailoa and Kamara? Uncle Justy rode on the backs of his quarterback and running back to dominate Risky Business and move all the way up to fourth in our standings with a 113.78 to 79.74 win. Kamara hadn't scored all season, and Uncle Justy had a feeling he was due. And that was true. Kamara had 62 yards rushing, 96 yards receiving, and 3 total touchdowns. Tagovailoa also came to play as the huge trade with Green Acres paid off in a big way after subpar quarterback performances all season by Tom Brady. Tagovailoa had 382 passing yards, 19 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. The two combined for 68.98 points. Throw in the always dominant Eagles defense, which had 17 points, thanks to allowing just 13 and adding 6 sacks, an interception, and a fumble recovery. And Uncle Justy had 85 points from 3 players in the starting lineup, more than Risky Business's entire lineup. Risky Business did have Mahomes and Kelsey on a bye. Goff and Ingram had a combined 2 touchdowns as bye-week replacements. Not bad, not great. Kenneth Walker added another score to continue an impressive rookie campaign, and the Patriots defense had 2 sacks and 3 interceptions. But a 0 by the kicker and some underwhelming play by the rest of the team means that Risky Business drops back to 500 at 4-4. Uncle Justy, on the other hand, wins back-to-back Game of the Weeks, pushing home teams in the feature game to 5-3 overall, showing that home field advantage does matter. And Uncle Justy is at 500 for the first time all season at 4-4, and he started 0-3. While that was fun for Uncle Justy, the next match was fun for everyone to see in our league, except for one team, of course, as the Clash at Demon had hosted the Stellar Bitches at the Swirling Skies at Havard Point in a Europa versus Ganymede clash. The Stellar Bitches have been searching for points all season and has played much better on the road than at home, and that continued to be the case here. The problem was that the Clash at Demon had also played great in a 123.94 to 122.58 win. Christian McCaffrey was unleashed on the 49ers with the trifecta of TDs with a passing, rushing, and receiving score. He also had 149 yards. Travis Etienne also was given the reins in Jacksonville and rewarded fantasy owners with 162 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, Zach Ertz, and DeAndre Swift also scored, and Stafford threw for 2 touchdowns as well. On the other side, Derrick Henry was an absolute monster, 219 rushing yards to get that much coveted 5-point bonus. He also added 2 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins had 3 touchdowns, and Hines also reached the end zone. Evans and McLaurin combined for 229 total yards as well. The big difference? Leaving the Chargers defense in the lineup on a bye in a must-win. The Bills defense had 7 points for the Clash at Demon Head. The Stellar Bitches are not mathematically eliminated, but they are 1-7 and not looking too good. With 6 weeks to go, the Clash at Demon Head saved their season and moved to 3-5. In another big match, remember the Titans hosted Green Acres at the Polar Caps of Athanasu in a Ganymede versus EO showdown. This was another high-scoring clash with the defending champions never saying die as if he was a part of the Goonies in a 144.58 to 109.92 win. And beast games galore for Remember the Titans. A.J. Brown at 156 yards and 3 touchdowns. DJ Moore at 155 yards and a 50-plus yard touchdown. Geno Smith added a couple of touchdowns as well. Barkley, Pitts, and Higgins reached pay dirt. And Stevenson had 143 yards. Green Acres did have 118 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion by Foreman, and another 108 yards and a touchdown by Diggs. Burrow threw for 2 scores, and Myers and the Texans defense combined for 21 points. But it wasn't enough. Green Acres falls to 4-4. Remember the Titans moves to 3-5 and is definitely still in this thing. Next, in a rivalry match, AR's Ayahuasca Plant hosted the top-ranked Elite Mother Tuckers, the Peaks of Dracos, in a Ganymede versus EO game. The Elite Mother Tuckers showed AR's Ayahuasca Plant that the teaching isn't quite done yet, as they took home the Ruler of Knowledge with a 108.6 to 95.82 win. Jalen Hurts remained a stud with 285 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, all passing, by the way. Hill added 195 yards, and Myers and Lockett also reached the end zone. The Cowboys' defense added a crazy touchdown on another one of those all-time Bears blunders. AR's Ayahuasca Plan had 159 yards and a score by Hopkins and touchdowns by Sanders and Kittle. Ron Rodgers threw for 2 scores. But Devontae Adams disappeared, which was the difference here. Well, that and the 0 by kicker Carlson. Las Vegas has some problems. The Elite Mother Tuckers continue to roll and move to 7-1. AR's Ayahuasca Plant falls to 3-5, but is still in the thick of the playoff race. Next, the Siamese Dreamcats hosted low-key Lebowski Thor at the Ship Graveyards at Beatrix Lane in an EO versus Europa clash. The Dreamcats earned the gigantic win, 110.12 to 98.26. Lamar Jackson came back alive with 238 passing yards, 43 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. But Pollard was the difference maker with 147 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Kupp added a touchdown as well, but got a little dinged up in his ankle. And the kicker Koo had 3 field goals and 4 extra points thanks to an overtime game. Lebowski Thor was led by Cook with 141 yards and a touchdown, and Cooper added 131 yards and a score. Dalton picked up 2 touchdowns as well, and Gordon and Boyd also reached the end zone. A couple of players with less than 4 points hurt, though, including the Bucs defense, which has definitely struggled lately. Lebowski Thor falls to 4-4, while the Siamese Dreamcats move up to 5th in the standings, also at 500 at 4-4. And last but not least, we had a battle of first place teams with the multiple Scoregasms hosting my Dark Ridge Dreamers at the Secret Sea of Galanis in a Ganymede versus Europa showdown, despite the Scoregasms holding a 70% chance to win heading into Sunday based on the computer projections. My Dreamers rode on the backs of Kyler Murray, Chubb, Waddle, and Algier to win 119.74 to 72.62. Murray had his best game of the season with 326 passing yards, 36 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Chubb added 104 yards, 2 scores, and a 2-point conversion. Waddle had 106 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Algier finished with 85 yards and a touchdown. Josh Allen had 2 scores for the Scoregasms in a down game for him, and Pierce had a late touchdown to salvage his game. But there is nothing else to really speak of here, with 5 players scoring less than 6 points. First overall pick Jonathan Taylor also continued to struggle mightily, and is definitely in the biggest first-round bust categories. The multiple Scoregasms, of course, fall to 5-3 overall, while the Dark Ridge Dreamers move to 6-2 and are in second place in the overall standings. So many players with multiple touchdowns, and 10 of 12 teams finished with 95 plus points, including 8 or more with 108 points. or more. Well, I mean, seriously, what a week! And things should only get exciting from here. And that's the content for the show, everyone. Hope you had a blast as the playoff race starts to heat up in this league. But just like our theme story, where the Shadows' plan seems to be taking shape, many questions remain, so don't turn the dials yet. Until next time, salut, and check out the updated power rankings before you go.